Hello, and welcome to the Victorious Living Solutions podcast. I'm your host, Nikeya Young, Dr. Nikeya Young, still getting used to that. Anywho, we are in for a treat today. As you know, the theme for this season is Women in Command, and we have in the virtual studio with us today a woman who has been an amazing friend and big sister and mama and mentor and all of the above to me for the last 4 years or so. None other than the beautiful Miss Valerie E. Lyons. Welcome, Valerie.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you. So now, y'all, Miss Valerie does everything. Okay. When I tell you this woman is a superwoman, she's superwoman. So I ain't even, because if I start, I know I'm gonna leave something out because you do everything. So why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and all of the awesome things that you do?
Okay. I am a retired special educator.
Mhm.
When I'm in shape, I'm a figure competitor in bodybuilding. I also am a personal trainer, so I train several people when I want to. When I want to. I sew, crochet, knit. I have two beautiful and grown children,
Okay.
a wonderful 7-year-old grandbaby, and I just enjoy every bit of my life. I belong to two Peloton groups. I just do everything. There are no limits to my life.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So basically, I want to be like Valerie when I grow up. Uh, so now this is a personal question, but I feel like it's going to put everything else we say into context. Can we tell them how old you are?
How young I am
Yes,
happily 63 and don't mind saying that. I am
63.
63 years young. Yes.
63. So now let's put this into perspective, y'all. I'm 43. This woman is literally old enough to be my mother, and she looks younger than me. I'm just going to put that out there. So y'all have the full picture of why I say I want to be like her when I grow up. I'm serious. That is just awesome to me. All right, so a lot there. We're going to talk about today's topic is finding your voice, finding your voice. And you guys know that I did a daytime Chicago appearance on Unleashing the Power of Your Voice. This woman is one of the people who encouraged me to do that. And so I want to know, I guess my first question is, who encouraged you to find your voice as you were coming up?
Wow, that's a pretty challenging question. I was a complete introvert as a
Mm,
young person from young child through probably my 30s and 40s. I was pretty much quiet. Now, some people will tell you that I'm not. At times, I'm an extroverted introvert, but I must be very comfortable to do that. I would say, honestly, when I saw President Obama speak, that
okay.
I decided it is time to come out of my shell. I need to do something in order for me to get my true voice and my true vision out there.
Mhm.
I was not benefiting myself by sitting there quietly, letting everyone else go out and have the fun. So when I heard his voice, I said, I need to change my life and
Mhm.
decided to join Toastmasters in
Okay.
order for me to do that.
That is awesome. 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 I'm just having a hard time imagining shy, introverted Valerie. Like, what does that look like? Man, and that is looking at you today. She's just so confident. But yeah, so tell me more about, was there anything that contributed to why you were more introverted? Like, was there bullying? Was anybody discouraging to you? Or you just naturally were introverted and that was just pretty much your personality?
Oh, all of the above. First, I am
Okay.
the firstborn in my family. I have three younger brothers, but I was raised with one of them, and the
Okay.
other two, we became much closer later. My mother expected me to be out there. As the oldest, you have a lot of responsibility, sometimes adult responsibilities, and
Mm-hmm.
you're expected to just do it. There was no real instruction. Get out there. But
Yeah.
I wasn't that person. I was a bookworm. I'm definitely a nerd. I love science and history and things like that. But my mother wanted me to be really a cheerleader and just all kinds of things that just weren't me. I was, of
Gotcha.
course, bullied like many people on this earth. There aren't too many people who weren't bullied. It's just
Yeah.
part of growing up. It isn't necessary, but sometimes it is. I
Mm.
was tall, slim for many, many years, very, very quiet, and I wore glasses.
Gotcha.
The recipe for being bullied. So yes, that happened as well. Um, I was smart um, from kindergarten to probably fourth or fifth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Just at that time, they were giving E's in school instead of A's. So I had straight E's.
Yeah.
I all the spelling tests doing very well. So of course, all of those things are recipes for being picked on, bullied, and it caused me to go inside my shell and find a comfort zone for myself. And I found that in books and reading and spending time just with myself, learning new things. So I
Yeah.
learned to crochet when I was 10, 10 years old,
Awesome.
and made an outfit for myself, complete halter with shorts, one piece outfit when I was 10 years
Nice.
old, you know. So those things did happen and they did contribute to me. They did contribute to me being pretty shy, but
Yeah.
it was necessary at that time. And my mother did know that one day I would grow up and come out of it. And I did.
Awesome. 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 Okay, so let's fast forward to you getting into Toastmasters to kind of help you come out of your shell vocally and, get into the speaking and all that. Tell us about your start in Toastmasters and how that went.
Oh, I love this story actually. My daughter was in college and she was taking a speech class and she needed some assistance. So
Okay.
I decided to have her attend a Toastmaster meeting. We went to a meeting and she did learn a little bit, felt a
Mhm.
little more confident. We went to a contest, a speech contest, and she really enjoyed it. And then she left and went back to college. I was cleaning the house and found my bucket list, which I
Okay.
consider my living list now. And it
Hmm.
says on there that I would join Toastmasters. So
Oh,
I researched Toastmasters online. I actually saw a club where a high school classmate was a member,
okay.
called her, inquired about the club, and then went to the building. This one is at the Wrightwood Ashburn Library on, it was 86 and Pulaski, I believe it is, or was it Kedzie? I
Hmm.
can't remember. Anyway, it's almost, going to that is almost like, I would believe, going to an Alcohol Anonymous. You're
Hmm.
scared, you
Yeah.
feel uncertain of yourself, you know you need to do this to benefit you, but you don't feel comfortable. So I walked into the building, my palms were sweaty, I touched the doorknob and said, and walked on in. And I
Mm.
was welcomed as soon as I arrived. They had someone sit next to me and she talked to me the entire time. And during the meeting, they gave me an opportunity to speak. And I was nervous, didn't know what to say. I watched a few people and said, okay, now I can get up there and do it. And I
Mm.
got up, stood up, participated, and I said, wow, I actually did this. But I
Mm.
also heard someone who had an amazing voice. Her name is Cassandra Lee.
Yes.
Powerful, dignified, confident. I said, one day I want to speak like her, one day. So a couple of weeks passed. I came there with my checkbook and I joined.
Mm.
And they immediately, just like my mother, just threw me in and had me doing the whole,
Voluntold.
yes, you'll be the timer today. You'll do all types of roles today. And a few months later, they asked me to be the secretary.
Mm.
But what happened initially, I had to give a speech. They gave me a mentor, and the mentor was supposed to get me ready for my very first speech. And she tricked me. She told me, you need to give your speech at your induction meeting. See, you don't automatically join Toastmasters. You know, they do allow you to be there, but you have to be inducted into our club.
Yeah.
So they have a huge meeting where they tell you about the history and their expectations and all of that. And I gave my very first speech at that meeting, and then discovered I was the first member in the history of my club to give my icebreaker the very first speech.
Ah, okay.
And when I gave it, Cassandra said, Valerie, that is a really good speech. I would like for you to give that in the speech contest. And I spent an entire year trying to prepare for the contest and did not know what to say. I didn't feel comfortable giving that speech again, but this is actually true. Some people don't believe it, but it's true. A couple of nights before the contest, I was lying in bed and God told me to wake up and go downstairs. Now, when God talks to me, I actually get up and do what he says because he's
Mhm.
never steered me wrong. Went downstairs. He said, look at the CDs that you have. And I looked at them all and I found The Last Dragon. And
Hmm.
so I was like, well, okay, why did I find this? And I put it in and watched it. And I said, and now I know God. I know exactly what to say. So the title of my speech was Who's the Master?
Come
It is
on.
actually on YouTube. And surprisingly, I won the club contest, went to area against 20-year vets,
Mm.
won the area contest, then went to the division with the 6-time champ. And I won that as well and went to
Mm.
district. That was after
Yes.
1 year of being in Toastmasters.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. 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 So, you all, anybody who is having any issues with just trying to gain more confidence in your voice and speaking up and sharing out at meetings and giving presentation, good old-fashioned communication skills and confidence in speaking is going to continue to take you far in whatever industry you are in, because most people have their biggest fear is public speaking. Now,
Mhm.
mine is snakes and spiders. I have never been afraid to talk in front of people.
Mhm.
But a lot of people theirs is speaking, and you don't want to get in the midst of the opportunity and that be your practice field. You know what I mean? You want to get ready beforehand. So what I'm hearing you say is that Toastmasters played a huge part in getting you ready. And so let's talk a bit more about how the confidence and the skill sets that you gained in
Mhm.
Toastmasters, how has that translated outside of Toastmasters in the real world?
While I get opportunities to speak plenty of times,
Mm.
turned down quite a few because I just don't want to be busy. But I get opportunities all the time. You know, I had to speak at my aunt's family reunion. I killed it. I have to say that myself. I killed it. Welcomed everyone to Chicago. Everyone loved it. After that, I was requested to speak at several different events. I'm also, a personal trainer. You
Mhm.
must use your speaking voice when you're talking to other people who
Mm.
are also afraid of doing something.
Yeah,
Many of them are just not in shape because they don't want to walk into the gym. They're afraid that
yeah.
someone will laugh at them. They are not comfortable. They've been told what they can't do most of their lives.
Mm.
So the speaking has helped me in that as well. Also, with mentoring other people who are
Mhm.
speakers. Within the club, I have mentored several people. I've been requested quite often. Once someone hears me speak, I want her to be my mentor.
Mhm.
And many of the people that I've mentored, they have gone on to do wonderful things. They have podcasts, They
Mhm.
have their own YouTube channels, Instagram channels. They've gone on to speak at other major events within their industry, whether it's medicine or construction,
Mhm.
um, just all types of things. They're very successful. And my protege now is getting ready to compete in the district speech contest. And
Mhm.
he is absolutely dynamic. When you see someone who has something in them, you try to bring it out. But
Mhm.
yeah, I've had a lot of major opportunities. And now that I have some skills under my belt, which I know how to begin a speech, build it up in the middle, and how to end a speech, I also know how to add a lot of humor to my
Mhm.
speeches, which I wasn't funny at all. But now I can speak in front of anyone at any time. Right now it's more casual, me speaking with you, but when it's time for me to stand up
Mhm.
at the podium and speak, I do it and I do it well. Tomorrow is my very, very best friend's homegoing, and I will
Oh, I'm
be
so sorry.
speaking. Thank you. And I will be speaking at her homegoing. I'm on the program as the speaker for her service. So
Mhm.
I'm confident enough to do that now, where at one time I would have declined.
Mhm.
But just like with bodybuilding, I can speak in front of anyone at any time.
Mhm. That is awesome. So if you guys have been wondering, oh, I've been hearing about this Toastmasters, I don't know if I should try. Just try it. They did not pay us to say any of this. We are just two women whose lives have been transformed by Toastmasters International. And so we're sharing.
Yes.
Now, her
Yes.
protege, you guys know him. He was in season 5, and go back and find that episode, Kareem Rogers. He gave us some career tips and all of that stuff. So, yes, he is a dynamic speaker. He was mentored by Miss Valerie E. Lyons. I have been mentored by Miss Valerie E. Lyons. Miss Valerie E. Lyons got a legacy. And that's my next thing I want to segue into is that you are someone who you're confident and you're doing big things, but when you see other people who are, like you said, have potential, instead of letting that intimidate you, you always are about pulling other people up along with you. Let's talk about how, as women, that's not always the case. I want you to give me 2 scenarios. I want you to tell me first who has been instrumental in helping to pull you up. And then after that, we could talk about maybe sometimes where people maybe misunderstood you or got intimidated by you and tried to pull you down. So we could talk about the positive one first. Who has helped encourage you and pull you up?
Wow, I come from a family of very powerful, strong, and confident women. So all of them, all of my aunts on both sides of the family, very confident. They gently push me in the direction of leadership.
Mm,
Also, Cassandra Lee within my club,
yeah.
she's always encouraged me to do things that I would never do. I never thought about participating in a speech contest ever. I mean, speaking, period, let
Mm,
alone a contest. So she's constantly telling me what I can do. Don't be afraid. Inhale, exhale, get
mm,
up there and do what you do. Ernestine Shepherd, the world's oldest
mm.
female bodybuilder,
Yes.
encouraged me as well. When it was time for me to be in my first contest, my first bodybuilding, well, it's actually figure competition
Mm,
contest, everyone else was half my age. So there was no one for me to look to give me the encouragement when I was almost 50 years old. There
yeah.
was no one there. I did see a picture of Ernestine. I should say Miss Ernestine, but she's mama. So I did see a picture of mama in the Jet magazine and saw that she began her journey in her 50s.
Okay.
She actually competed in her 70s. And that was just what I need. I actually reached out to her, spoke to her, and she encouraged me for my first
Mm,
contest. And then my children and my grandchild, they've
yeah.
encouraged me as well, because if I don't get out here in front of them and show them what can be done, they probably would not have the encouragement or determination to do many of the things that they do now.
Mm.
They are some true speakers. They can speak as well, and they try everything. There are things that I would not do, but I've always encouraged them, go and try it, try to do it. So they're like me, they'll do anything, just about anything. That
I
there's
love
no
it.
limits to any of them. My grandbaby is just phenomenal, not because she's my grandbaby, but because she has the confidence that I wish that I had when I was her age.
Ah,
She is
awesome.
that swimming. Was it swimming? She's skating. She sings. She does everything. She's just but phenomenal. Now, as far as the people who have pushed me down,
Mm,
that has been since I was probably teenage because I've always been tall. So when I
mm,
walk into a room, I'm standing tall. I'm standing in my 5-inch stilettos,
mm,
wearing whatever I choose to wear. And I'm always classy. But when I
mm.
walk into a room, I've told people I look so good, I make other women look like men. So that's just the confidence. But people will just see me and not like me without me opening my mouth. There's
Hmm.
some people who just are intimidated. But once
Yeah.
they get to know me, they know, I'm fun and, I'm
Hmm.
not that super arrogant person or anything like that. And I'm always trying to pull somebody up. If I see that, like the speech says, if I
Hmm.
see something in you,
Hmm.
then I will try to build on that. When I saw you, the first time I saw this girl is just phenomenal. You were a
Oh.
powerhouse then, and I remember trying to push you into doing other things. You should be in a speech contest.
Hmm.
And you did get the speech contest that year.
Hmm.
And I saw the leadership qualities in you, and I said, you should be an area director. And I made you my area director
Hmm.
and wanted you to go much further and do many things because I saw the leadership ability in you. And then there's some
Oh.
people who are quiet like me,
Hmm.
and I can still see something in them if they're just given a little push.
Yeah.
They can be, wow, just phenomenal. So that's something that I like to do. I try to pull people up with me, and then once they are next to me and they have the skills, I try to push them ahead of me
Yeah.
because their journey is not my journey, but I want them to go as far as the Lord wants to take them. And I
Hmm.
want them to believe in themselves and bring other people with them. Because
Yes.
our gifts are not about us. Our gifts are for other people to
Hmm.
pull them up with us so that they can build our community, build our world, and make this place a much better and joyous place.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Now, yes, you have definitely pulled me up. I will say this. I was listening to, there is a woman, we've had her on the podcast before, in I believe season 3, and her name
Mhm.
is Tara Carissa Hodges. She's amazing. I follow everything that she does on social media, but she deals a lot with people who she calls it success bullying.
Mm,
She coined the term success bullying, and it's basically anytime you experience any level of success, there are going to be people who are jealous of you just because you're successful. You don't even have to do anything to them.
right.
And it's not even your definition of success, it's what they deem success to be in their mind. So like
Mm,
you mentioned, you said like it just because you dress nice, you walk in and the girls is, oh, who she thinks she is. Oh, all of that, you know how they do. Um, but she basically was talking about how a lot of times this happens in with older women. Like she talks
mm,
about that on her page. She'll talk about sometimes older women will see a younger version of themselves. That's maybe somebody that either has more confidence or has more potential or something that they initially are drawn to because it's like, oh, she's like me, or I remember when I was that age or whatever. But then it turns into this warped kind of jealousy because they see if I would have had the skills or the confidence or the whatever that she has, you know, and they get in this weird competition with women who are
True.
younger than them. And she talks about
True.
how they'll deliberately give you bad advice because they
Yes.
want to see you fail. Like, it's scary. And unfortunately, I've experienced it a little bit. A little bit. I say a little bit because I'm not going to follow no bad advice. I'm going to just be like,
Thank
oh,
you.
okay. And then do the exact opposite of what you said because you're crazy. But
I saw that a lot when I became a teacher.
okay, because I was gonna ask you because
Yes.
I'm like, tell me about that.
Oh, wow. So when I became an educator, okay, people thought that I was 21 or 22 years old
Mm-hmm.
when I came into the school. So they were constantly talking about my dress. I was wearing suits every day,
Mm-hmm.
and I was wearing my stilettos every day. And then, well, how are you teaching in your heels? They're just shoes to me. This is a profession. I want to look professional. If I
Mm-hmm.
want the children to one day become educators, I need to make it look good.
Mm-hmm.
So, hair, my hair was done every 2 weeks. It was
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. Then I was getting it done every week, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they were talking about that. They also didn't like that I had a lot of great ideas because they
Mm-hmm.
had a certain protocol I related to, and it doesn't happen in every school and to every person. So please
Yeah.
don't think that. But there's a hierarchy. So
Yeah.
the new teachers are supposed to be at the bottom, and you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to earn your spot.
Mm-hmm.
So you sit back and you watch these seasoned teachers, and you wait until they let you in. Well, I didn't believe in that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in James Brown's theory. I don't want nobody to give me nothing, open up the door, I get it myself.
That
So
part.
I walked on in writing grants, walked on in teaching these children that no one else can teach. I was able to get my children to do things that
Mm-hmm.
other teachers who were seasoned 30-year teachers could not get them to do. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there was success bullying.
Yeah.
Then they found out my true age.
Ooh.
I was 35 years old. The way they found out is during one of the teacher meetings, I could bring my son to school with me.
Okay.
My son was in high school at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I introduced, this is my son. Your son? Yes, this is my son. How is this your son? The same way any child is your son? Yeah, I didn't understand that question. But then they realized how old
Mm-hmm.
I truly was. So I was not a new person. I
Yeah.
was seasoned. And then I was working on my PhD when a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them got their bachelor's degrees and didn't go any further.
Yeah.
I already had my bachelor's. I was completing my master's and working on my PhD at Loyola.
Mm-hmm.
So they were intimidated by that. I
Mm.
don't think it was necessarily me. I think that some people will look at you and they see what they could have been,
Yeah.
what
Mm-hmm.
they could have been, and what they still can be.
Yeah.
But you're doing it and they're not. It's not that they don't have the opportunity because I share information with everybody. This is how
Mm-hmm.
you get into this school. Here's the scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
Here are the resources. Instead of paying $100 for a book, you can get the same book for $8.
Yeah.
So I gave them all the resources. They didn't have the same drive.
Drive. Yep. That's
And
it. They won't
my
have the
mother,
drive, but they'll sit there and be mad at you like you're supposed to stand still just because they ain't doing nothing.
exactly. And my mother always told me to be the best And whatever you do, my track coach, Mr. Wayne Stingley, told me, Valerie, you need to come in first because nobody remembers who came in second. I've been told by people when you walk into the room, you make sure all eyes are on you. And when you open your mouth, you make sure that it's like E.F. Hutton. Everybody's listening. So that those people have told me those things. I am that person. I embody all of that when I'm doing something, when I'm walking into a room, when I'm talking, all of that. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully I'm doing that here.
Yes, yes, you are. I love, love, love it. So it's so funny that you said you experienced it when you were a school teacher because that's where I experienced it too. I feel like we've lived very similar lives.
Yes. Yes. Yes,
I'm a
we have. Yes,
yes,
we
I'm
have.
a retired special education teacher also. I'm a former fitness instructor also. I need to get back into it. Lord Jesus, that's another topic for another day. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that a lot of women who have that kind of, be they older women or younger women who have the problems with jealousy, it's really fear. That's what I think it is. A
Ooh,
lot of it is fear and insecurity.
true.
And instead of having the self-awareness to just sit with that, um, and process like where it came from, what they can do to change it. Instead of having the self-awareness to do all of that, they just want to project their fear and their insecurities onto people who are doing better than them because
Yes,
they
we
want
do.
you to stay where they are so they can feel more comfortable with being where they are. But
Exactly.
God doesn't want you to be comfortable. God is going to continue to bring people in your path that are doing things that you have the desire deep down on the inside of you to do because He wants you to be uncomfortable enough to get up off your tail
Mm-hmm.
and go do what He called you to do. And
Right.
so I'm just saying, if any of y'all happen to cross this podcast, you're gonna keep bumping into women like Valerie E. Lyons and Nikeya Young, and we're gonna keep getting on your nerves because we ain't gonna stop shining.
Right. And God is always 10 steps ahead. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes those bullies come in handy.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they do
They
because
do.
they will make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And when you get uncomfortable with being comfortable, you move to the next level. You
Yes.
learn something and then you move to the next level. And it keeps going until you
Mm-hmm.
get to exactly where you're supposed to be. So I
Mm-hmm.
thank every bully I've had
Listen.
from elementary school through my work life. I am so grateful to them
Mm-hmm.
because if I stayed comfortable, I would still be that quiet, shy little girl from the
Mm.
South Side. So thank you to all of them, especially
Look.
Joseph in elementary school. He knows who he is. He's a good friend of mine now. Don't get him. He was my bully in elementary school, but in
Mm-hmm.
high school he was my biggest protector.
Oh.
He truly what he became my biggest protector. And he just said, Valerie, I just liked you, but you were so quiet. I just felt like I could just do anything. But look at you now. So now we are such wonderful friends. So
Mm-hmm.
I tell people if you have a bully, don't hurt them.
Yeah.
Don't try to shoot and all that kind of thing. One day that person could make a huge difference in your life. So as
Mm.
I got older and I had my son, he taught my son to play basketball. He wouldn't
Wow.
let anybody in the neighborhood bother me at all. And
Mm-hmm.
whenever I need something like Valerie, I got you. Came to my bodybuilding contest, big supporter. So I'm thankful to Joseph for being a bully when I was in elementary school because you know, he's a good friend now, and I am truly blessed for having him in my life.
I love it. And that's one thing I'm glad you brought that out because if there's some of you who are out there who the reason you're having trouble finding your voice is because of bullying that didn't stop when you were a child, it continued into adulthood and workplace bullies and all of that. A big thing that you need to keep in mind is to pray for the person who is bullying you.
Yes.
Even if they don't become your best friend, like, Joseph became Valerie's good friend, you may not ever be friends again, but that person may come back to you later and apologize. And even if they don't, even if they don't, even if they don't, it's not good for you to walk around with any kind of unforgiveness or bitterness or whatever in your heart, because that can stop you. That's the one thing that can pump the brakes on all the blessings that God has for you is unforgiveness. So pray for them, because it's really just fear. Pray for, the fear and the insecurities of whatever is intimidating them, but don't take the bullying personally. That's the big thing, because it's never about you. It's always something in them that gets triggered, but you're not responsible for that. So if you're being bullied or somebody's trying to intimidate you or purposely trying to take your voice from you, don't stop shining. That's not your cue to stop shining. We don't dim our light to make anybody comfortable. We don't do that here. Keep shining your light because someone needs to see it. And pray for the people who have an issue and move on. So
True. And you're a lion. What do lions care about sheep?
I know that's right. I know that's right. Love it, love it, love it. So tell us what you have coming up. What fun things is Miss Valerie E. Lyons doing? What does she have on the horizon? Where can people find you?
Oh, wow. Now I'm taking a bit of a break from
Okay.
doing a lot of things. I'm still mentoring my
Mm.
protege, and his contest is next week. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm
Okay.
also, someone pulled me out of retirement to train them. So I am training, I am training and trying not to do much of that. This year is actually my fun year. So I'm planning on doing a lot of traveling,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of writing, because I am in a book, but I wanted to write my own memoir. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on that as well. But I will come back to your podcast when everything is in place. Right now, I'm just enjoying life, just
I love it. I love it.
enjoying myself. I, I'm getting on Peloton every single day. I'm working out every single day. Uh, just having fun right now. But they can find me as Valerie E. Lyons
Mm-hmm.
on on Facebook. And what am I keep forgetting what I am on Instagram, but it's not a business page, so you'll need to be there anyway. But I will bring that out as well. As I said, I will come back, and when everything is in place, when I'm ready to really just wow the world, I will
Yes.
let you know. So that'll probably be in September after
Okay.
my trip to Cancun.
Okay.
Then
Look
I
at
can
her,
do all
y'all.
these wonderful things. So
I love it. I love it. Yes, please keep me posted. And you will
sure,
definitely be back in here, Miss Lady, because I want to hear all the details about this memoir. I want to get a copy. I want an autographed copy
of
of my
course,
mom of my mama's memoir. I absolutely do.
of
And
course.
tell us about the club. We can't leave without telling them about the club, because we talked all this wonderful stuff about
Yes,
Toastmasters,
yes.
and somebody may want to try a club, and we have the club that we want you to try.
Oh, yes. The Wayo Toastmasters. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Just phenomenal. We meet every second and fourth Saturday from 10:30 to 12:30. That is
Hmm.
Central Standard Time.
Hmm.
Central Standard Time. And the club is just wonderful. We help each other, we support each other. We love having visitors. And when
Hmm.
you come, turn your camera on because we plan to have some fun. And once you come to a meeting, this is
Hmm.
what I always say. You want some of this. Come and
Yes.
join us because you cannot find a better group. We will develop your leadership skills through public speaking. Many people think that Toastmasters makes toast. First of all, we make toast, or that we just do speeches. No, we build you
Hmm.
into becoming the best leader you can possibly be. And we do
Yes.
that through using different skills in public speaking. You will
Hmm.
learn how to negotiate buying a car, buying a
Hmm.
home. You will learn how to be a better manager of your home, of your family. You will learn a
Mm-hmm.
lot of skills being in Toastmasters, not just speaking, making speeches, writing speeches, and delivering speeches. You will
Mm-hmm.
learn to be a much better, more confident, more confident leader overall. So you
Yes.
should definitely come visit, just visit us and see exactly what we're doing over there. We're doing some marvelous things. And again, you want some of this.
Yes, yes. Go to WAO Toastmasters Club. What's the website is waotoastmasters.org, is it?
I
Yeah.
believe it's .org, but you can
Mm-hmm.
just Google Whale
Mm-hmm.
Toastmasters, get right to the page.
Yep. So WAO, and tell them that Valerie E. Lyons and Dr. Nikeya Young sent you. Now you won't see me there. I am on a hiatus for a little bit. I stepped away to finish my doctorate. I got that done, and I'm still plunged knee deep in all things Victorious Living Solutions right now.
Mhm.
But I still like to poke around and see what they got going on because I do plan to come back hopefully in the fall.
Yes, we miss you.
I miss y'all too. I do, I do, I do. But yeah, pop in there and you don't have to be from Chicago to attend because it's virtual.
Yes, we have
Yeah.
people from Africa
Hmm.
come and visit, from Singapore. Just
Hmm.
visit.
Yeah. Is
Yes.
life changing. All right. Well, you guys, that is our time. I hope you have been inspired by this amazing woman as I have been. And I hope that you've been encouraged to come out of your shell and find your voice. It
Yes.
may squeak at first, but keep flexing it. The more you use it, the more you build it up, the stronger and stronger it gets. And yes, yes, yes. So do your thing and keep living victoriously. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to go to victoriousliving to subscribe and be sure to like and share this episode with someone else to encourage them as well. Thanks again. Keep living victoriously. Bye, everybody.
Smooches.